Woe to the world and them that dwell therein! For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 14 through 19. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash, and double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with a quick lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting onto the elect. Okay, and today I believe is the 5th of September, 2024 AD, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and I'm going to title this video, America Stands on the Edge of Chaos. Okay, America stands on the edge of chaos. And what do I mean by that? Well, what we just read in the book of 2nd Esdras is highlighting, all right, the kind of chaos that's going to be, all right, ensuing upon American soil very soon. All right, now a lot of people don't even know that this is even something that's developing. But those of us who have been paying attention for years, all right, especially those who, subscribe to the doctrine of the men of Great Millstone, starting from my elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. Okay, we're very well aware, okay, of a time, as the scriptures describe, as a time like never before, otherwise known as the time of great tribulation, otherwise known as the time of Jacob's trouble. Now, within that time, you have civil riots, civil war going on. You have famines like never before. You have a whole bunch of diseases, all right, that's going to be taking people out left and right. Okay, and then you also have governmental oppression like never before. Let's not forget about the financial turmoil that people are going to start facing very soon, as you've seen over the past couple of years, but it's going to be intensified, all right, at an all-time high, where they're going to present to the world the solution, which would be the mark of the beast, otherwise known as the RFID or NFC CHIP, okay? But again, this article is going to go a lot more in depth with the chaos that's about to be brewing, or is brewing now, that's about to spill out into the streets very soon. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we've been hearing about this whole thing with Aurora, Colorado, with the whole Venezuelan gangs that are taking over these apartment complexes and basically kicking people out, and they're basically the landlords. I was hearing some information that apparently a lot of the so-called illegals, all right, illegal migrants that are over here, that crossed over the border right around pretty much at the end of the last year into this year, all the way into April, May, around there. Apparently the US or the DHS, with the leadership of Alejandro Mayorkas, right, they're going to be basically making them citizens, so that they'll be able, prior to the elections, so-called, right? So there's a lot of funny little things going on that doesn't make sense, but eventually it will make all the sense in the world, all right? But anyway, let's get right into this article here, okay? And again, America is headed for a time like never before, all right? Known as the Great American Chaosopolis, all right? A city of chaos, all right? It says military forces, outlaw biker gangs, and mercenaries gear up for an imminent civil war. Okay? America, once a beacon of democracy and freedom, stands on the brink of a civil war unlike anything the modern world has ever seen. Again, scripture says a time like never before, right? So we're awaiting that, Okay, and that's fast approaching. And it's very interesting, the timing too, because with all the seriousness of the news that we're hearing and how crazy it's about to get very soon, okay, you don't forget about the whole cyber polygon thing. We always talking about that, okay, because they've told us straight up, hey, before 2025, we're going to have a huge, huge cyber attack that's going to cripple the whole entire global economy. Okay, and with that, they're going to usher in their draconian mandates to so-called fix the problems. Okay, problem, reaction, solution. All right, so it's funny how the timing is all, playing out now, because I just saw a video earlier today, okay, of all these degenerates. I think the elder Manaj Zagba did a video, and then the elder Apostle Gabar also did a video following on that. Okay, and these whole ass niggas, man, always, it's like they're making a mockery of the ministry, oh, the Hebrew Israelites, and we don't even talk like that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't even talk like that. So y'all just looking for clicks and views, so-called. Okay? But ultimately, the Lord's going to pick you niggas off left and right, little by little, man. All right? You see. Just watch. All right? But let's go back into the article. It says, the nation is a powder keg, and the fuse has been lit. From covert military movements along the East Coast to the ominous preparation for of the Hells Angels in Colorado, the stage is set for a conflict that will shake the very foundations of society. It says, the U.S. military, long a symbol of stability and order, is now at the center of unprecedented activity along the East Coast. The regions stretching from the High Peaks Wilderness in New York State down through Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, and North Carolina have become the nerve center of intense military training and reconnaissance operations. These maneuvers are not just routine exercises, they are preparation for urban warfare, a grim testament to the internal conflict on the horizon. The operations are part of a broader initiative known as Operation Urban Warrior, a United States Marine Corps program designed to simulate and prepare for military operations on urbanized terrain. This program, originally conceived in the mid-1990s, was a response to the growing threat of inner-city violence. And when they say that, they mean Jake rising up. That's all that means, okay? Because ain't nobody on this earth that does the shit that Jake does. You ain't gonna see no Ishmaelites doing that. You ain't gonna see no Jays doing that. You ain't gonna see no what's these people? Indians, not Indians, Asians, Moabites. There you go. You ain't gonna see them raising hell. They have no reason to. Okay, so when they say inner city violence, who lives in the inner cities? Jake. Okay, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. So they've already set up a program to come against us. Really, and I shouldn't say us because they're not really, they don't stand a chance. But they're coming against you wicked ass niggas, man. Again, the scripture says, and their cities shall be troubled and men shall be afraid. Okay, we just read that. So we're definitely in those times, because you got niggas talking about, these gang members from Venezuela. You got MS-13 dudes. They got guns, they got machetes, they got all kinds of stuff. Okay, and they're being, it's crazy. Cops don't even want to fuck with them. Okay, people calling the cops are like, yo, listen, man, this is out of our hands, bro. This is a federal problem. Don't call us. They call the feds. The feds say, hey, listen, this is the place. They said we ain't got nothing to do with this. We ain't responding to shit. So it's a nice setup for chaos, man, and I love every bit of it. All right, we want to see who's who. Beautiful times. All right, so continuing, it says, however, it has since evolved into something far more ominous, a preparation for warfare on American soil. Okay, and this kind of reminds me of back in 2015, 2016. All right, you had something known as Jade Helm 15, where you had Black Hawk helicopters flying over American houses and all kinds of different terrain, and they were saying that they were training for overseas. I said, well, if you're training for overseas, why don't you go over there and train? Why the hell are you using American soil and training in certain type of scenarios that only Americans will have to deal with? Okay, and that's all because in the time of martial law, these niggas gonna be out here running the streets. You're gonna have helicopters flying. You're gonna have robot dogs running around the streets. Okay, knocking on people's doors. Right? We're gonna see these things. All right, you're going to see the military coming into houses. You know, if you're on the red list, the blue list, the yellow list, all these different things mean something. Most people don't even know. But guess what? 90% of the American population is on these lists. Some way, somehow, your ass is on there and they know where you live. All right, they have addresses, they know names, they got all kinds of stuff. Okay, and when the Lord says it's go time, them niggas gonna be knocking on doors. All right, so let's get it. It says the involvement of multiple divisions, including the Army, Marines, and Special Forces, underscores the seriousness of these preparations. These forces are not just training, they are actively conducting live reconnaissance missions, targeting key urban centers like New York City. The implications are clear. The U.S. military is gearing up for a conflict that will unfold within the very cities it was meant to protect. The Hells Angels Deadly Gambit, a weaponized biker gang. As the U.S. military prepares for war on the East Coast, a different kind of force is mobilizing in the heart of Colorado. The Hells Angels, long synonymous with outlaw biker culture, are setting up munitions and I guess the word they're trying to use is setting up ammunitions and weapons based in the state. This move is not just about stockpiling arms, it is a calculated response to a growing threat. The Hells Angels have found themselves under siege, with their Colorado chapters coming under attack from South American gangs, which, mind you, were brought in by the government, okay? And they're here for a reason. A lot of them are being naturalized so they can be part of the military. So we'll see. It says these gangs, backed by powerful cartels, are not just a local nuisance. They represent a direct challenge to the Hells Angels' dominance in the region. The retaliation has been swift. The Hells Angels are consolidating their forces, moving several chapters into Colorado and preparing for a bloody reprisal. Reports suggest that ex-Marines and ex-Army veterans now affiliated with the Hells Angels are playing a crucial role in these preparations. And those could be, insiders as well, right? It says these veterans bring with them not just military expertise, but also a deep-seated loyalty to their outlaw brethren. The situation is further complicated by the involvement of local law enforcement. While official sources deny any connection between the Hells Angels and Colorado's higher-ups, right, because they're all part of it, right, majority of so-called modern-day police officers, they all go back to KKK anyway, the KKK members. All right, that's how they think, that's how they operate. All right, the new modern-day KKK is the so-called police, man. That's just how they move, okay? They hunt niggas down and all kinds of different shit, okay? Modern-day lynching is when they just mow niggas down in the streets. All right, shoot you, pop, 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 pop. Hey, stop resisting, stop resisting. Whoa, wait a minute. And just like how niggas couldn't do shit about it when they were lynching, same thing, shoot you down and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, there you go. It says, let's see. It says there are whispers of cooperation between the Hells Angels and certain factions within the Colorado police, facilitated through covert communications channels. While the U.S. military and the Hells Angels prepare for open conflict, all right, another group operates in the shadows, private military contractors, otherwise known as PMCs. These mercenaries, often hired by the government for covert operations, are now preparing for a civil war within U.S. borders. The role of PMCs, otherwise known as private military contractors, in this looming conflict cannot be overstated. These highly trained operatives are not bound by the same rules and regulations as the military, allowing them to operate with a level of autonomy and secrecy that is unmatched. Woo! So right then and there, they just found a way to go or to bypass the so-called Posse Comitatus Act, okay, which in and of itself doesn't even exist anymore because they've circumvented it by ways of using something known as the NDAA and the Patriot Act and so on and so forth, right? But basically, it states that the U.S. military cannot operate on U.S. soil against American citizens, right? But very soon, you're going to see that out the window. When the military comes in and they start rolling, or at least mercenaries who are in military uniform start rolling and start killing and wilding out, basically doing what they're supposed to do, which is being mercenaries, There's nothing people could do about it. Okay? And the situation is going to be so dire that, again, most people are too dumb to realize what the hell is going on any damn way. Okay? They have no idea what the hell is going on. They don't even know what a posse comitatus is, let alone what the military can and cannot do. You got dudes who think police is invincible. You know, the so-called law enforcement, they're just invincible people. They could just do no wrong. They go around harassing people, beating people down, overusing so-called authority, which they really don't have, but they think they do. Okay, because the reality is these niggas just work for the feds. All right, the police is being militarized by the feds. When you have police that have damn near when they do what this thing called riot control, and they got all this high tech, machines and shit, you'd be like, wait, what? Why? Because they get that from whenever you have these military contracts, they go to war and they have all these military armaments, they pass it down to the police. Okay, so that's why you have these police being militarized. They got body armor, like all kinds of different military, look to them. They look like they're going to war on a battlefield in Iraq somewhere, But that battlefield is right here on American soil, and they're training for that. Okay? It says the involvement of PMCs is a clear indication that the situation has escalated beyond the control of traditional law enforcement and military forces. Again, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Okay? These contractors are preparing for a scenario where the U.S. government may lose control, leading to a power vacuum that could be exploited by various factions, both foreign and domestic. The deep state, a term often used to describe the shadowy network of powerful elites who pull the strings behind the scenes, is believed to be orchestrating much of the chaos. Who's surprised by that? This theory gained traction during the Trump administration, with the former president himself alluding to the existence of a globalist agenda aimed at undermining U.S. sovereignty, what has been happening since 1776, by a man named Adam Weishaupt when they put together the so-called One World Order conspiracy. Okay, it's not a theory; it's just a conspiracy fact. All right, look at what they had up, which was broken down a few years ago, known as the Georgia Guidestones. And conveniently, when it got taken down, shortly after that, you started to see a whole lot of satanic, overt behavior going on. Okay, because they're ready to do what they got to do. When you read the Deagle report, it used to be up. They took that shit down back in 2020. All right, but I remember looking at it back in 2016 or 15, one of them, and I was like, yo, they saying by 2025 the American population is going to go down from 300 and something million to about 69 to 70 million people. I said, yo, how the hell are they going to do that? Well, we're about to find out. Okay, when Klaus Schwab is saying that over 6 billion people are about to be, unalived by 2025 or in 2025, that should tell you something. Okay, and like we've been saying, when you look at it from a spiritual end of it, right, the Lord is about to bring out heavy judgment. 6 billion people? Shit, I don't want to be on his bad side, man. Trust me. But those who gonna end up on the Lord's red list, hey, kudos to you. You done pissed them off. You're done. All right. So continuing, it says, in this tense environment, surveillance has become a key tool for those preparing for conflict. Black helicopters, often the stuff of conspiracy theories, are now a very real presence in the skies over the East Coast. And we've been seeing them a lot lately. Okay, I think a couple of weeks ago, I've been making mention of it that there was a lot of USAF, United States Air Force planes flying real low. Right, there's a lot of black helicopters flying around real low. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye out. All right, for. Okay, it says these aircrafts are gathering data of military movements, gang networks, and the infiltration of foreign operatives within the U.S. It's not just them. They also getting an overview of the movements of the regular people as well. Okay, all about strategic planning, if you will. Anyway, continue. It says the focus of these surveillance operations is not just on domestic threats. There is growing evidence of Iranian and Chinese military operations within U.S. borders, coordinated with South America cartel networks. How did that happen? Only God knows. with all this so-called intelligence, and we're spying on the American people, and we're trying to stop terrorists and the TSA, and how do you have all this stuff to stop exactly what is actually happening? How? And it still happens, and it's even getting worse. Listen to what we're reading here, right? So you have all these different measures and laws and statutes to protect so-called American people from all this type of shit, but yet it's happening. To the point where you have the so-called FBI director, that clown, what's his name? Christopher Wray. A few months ago, I think it was last year, he kept saying it. Oh, I see a lot of red flags, getting towards the so-called Christmas holidays, whatever. I see a lot of red flags, we could really see something pop off real soon. Nigga, isn't your job supposed to be stopping these red flags? It's almost like they come out and tell people about the dangers that's yet to happen. What the fuck are you niggas doing? Every now and again, you hear this so-called mass shooting thing that be happening randomly, popping up out of nowhere. Every few months or so, they just pop in, right? Some guy just, and it's the same shit. You're always going to schools and shooting up schools, man. And then the person who's doing the shooting, mysteriously, they never arrest them. They never get them. They never, persecute them or prosecute. They're unalived. They're done. It's over. Nobody does a follow-up. It's the same shit. If they don't come out with a manifesto, then it's, gun violence. We need to go after the Second Amendment. So we can't do this. It's like, who is in the school that you're looking for so bad that you keep going over to these schools with the same mindset, the same shit over and over again? And then the government's turn around and say, well, listen, shit, we ain't going to set up no better security system. We just going to keep telling you that the guns are the problem. The guns are the problem. Hey, listen, assault rifles. It's incredible. It's incredible. But they keep on doing it because it works. See, it works. Right? Anyway, continue. It says, these operations are not just about drug trafficking or gang violence. They are part of a broader strategy to destabilize the United States from within. The use of black helicopters for these missions underscores the seriousness of the threat. These aircraft are equipped with advanced surveillance technology, capable of intercepting communications, tracking movements, and identifying key targets. The data gathered is crucial for the military's efforts to neutralize these threats before they can strike. Guess what? People, they always strike, and then y'all niggas do something after it. But then what y'all do is not really to, like I said, prosecute the criminals per se, but you create this whole new world where it affects the people who you're supposed to be so-called protecting. That shit doesn't even make sense. Okay? Oh, there's a mass shooting. Oh my goodness, we need to go after the guns. Well, go after the niggas who's committing the crimes. No. We can't. Listen, we need to it's the guns. That's the problem here. Okay? This shit is tired, man. It's tired. All right? It says, at the heart of this conflict is former President Donald Trump. Despite being out of office, Trump remains a central figure in the battle against what he and his supporters see as a globalist conspiracy to undermine U.S. sovereignty. According to numerous reports, Trump is actively working to build a coalition of nations willing to stand up against the United Nations and the deep state. Well, that ain't gonna happen because he's part of it. Okay? This is all theatrics. It's theater. It's all acting. Okay? Just like how the pastors, they act, they perform a silly act on stage. There's no longer they don't stand on not a podium. What's the other word? Oh, these pastors are not standing on a pulpit anymore, right? There's no more pulpits. They're all standing on a stage and they're doing a performance, just like how these comedians do it, just like how these presidents do it. They're always on a stage because it's all about stage plays and acting and so on and so forth. That's all it is. Okay, it's sometimes they rehearse, all right, these things. You might have a so-called presidential candidate rehearsing how they're gonna do their entrance. Niggas be waving at an empty arena like ha, like, it's just the weirdest thing, bro. Everything is just fake in this country. Okay, and it's permeated throughout the whole entire world, where you got all these people who used to have some form of substance to their living. Now everybody's all about style. No type of substance, just style. And it's the wrong type of style to have. Okay. Anyway, continue. It says um it says this coalition is not just about political posturing. It is a serious effort to counter what Trump perceives as an existential threat to the United States. The UN, long viewed by Trump as a tool of globalist elites, is seen as the primary vehicle for implementing a new world order that would strip the US of its independence. Trump's efforts to combat this threat have been met with resistance from both domestic and international forces. Many of the former president's allies in the military and intelligence communities are now working behind the scenes to support his efforts. However, they face formidable opposition from within the US government itself, where factions aligned with the deep state are, I'm not interested in this shit. I want to get the good parts. Let's see. Right. It says, as the nation teeters on the edge of civil war, federal U.S. Marshals and a vast network of informants are playing a critical role in the fight against these growing threats. These operatives are embedded deep within urban gang networks, South American cartel militias, and even within the U.S. government itself, which I believe is the biggest, most corrupt gang there is on the earth. Okay, the U.S. government and their agencies and all that bullshit they got going on, which the Lord is going to destroy very soon. Okay, very, very soon. Okay, it says their mission is clear: to gather intelligence, disrupt enemy operations, and prepare for the coming conflict. The involvement of federal marshals in this struggle highlights the extent to which the rule of law has eroded in the United States. That means the Americans you're effed. If the rule of law has been eroded, you're effed. You're done. Okay? We're about to see bloodshed like never before by the hands of your own government. Okay? And the Lord is going to give them that power to do so as a form of judgment. Okay? Upon you wicked ass niggas, man. Oh man. Oof. It's going to be a bloodbath. Oh man. It says these agents are no longer just enforcing federal laws. They are now engaged in a clandestine war against powerful forces that seek to destroy the country from within. And that's your politicians, all right? All these different people, your doctors, your pastors, your whatever. All right, they're all part of the plan to destroy, all right, America from within. But that's all that the Lord's doing. Okay, we've been told you that the Lord is going to bring this place down, and you're seeing it. Okay? It says the use of informants is equally crucial. These individuals, often recruited from within the ranks of criminal organizations, provide invaluable intelligence on the activities and plans of the enemy. However, this involvement also carries significant risks. The infiltration of these networks by government operatives has led to a series of brutal reprisals as criminal organizations and foreign operatives work to root out informants and eliminate potential threats. Okay. It says the final piece of this complex puzzle is a series of military exercises taking place across the United States, particularly along the East Coast and in the Rocky Mountains. These exercises, involving both regular military forces and private contractors, are not just about training, they are preparation for the coming conflict. Okay? The focus of these exercises is on urban warfare, a clear indication that the military is preparing for a civil war that will be fought in the streets and cities of the United States. These exercises are not just about defending against external threats, they are about preparing for a domestic conflict that will pit Americans against each other. What does 2nd Ezra say? Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." Right? "And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." Okay, now let's get that in Isaiah 19. Okay, also remember our Lord talked about nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, right? People are going to be fighting against each other, all right, in a form of, I'm trying to end you, I'm trying to finish you off for whatever reason. Okay, what's that in Isaiah 19? All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother." Egyptians is synonymous with Americans or Babylonians, okay? Because America is the modern day Egypt. All right, America is modern day Egypt because this is the land, all right, of the land and the land of the captives, known as the Israelites, known as the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, believe it or not, that's exactly what it is. Just like in ancient Egypt. Okay, America is spiritual Egypt. All right. So it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fall or shall fail in the midst thereof, and I'll destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Okay. So we are in those times, man. We're reading about it. This is all end time Bible prophecies coming to life. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. All right. So let's go back to the article here. It says, so let's bring that back. It says, these exercises are not just about defending against external threats. They are about preparing for a domestic conflict and will pit Americans against each other. The Egyptian against the Egyptian. Okay. It says the involvement of private contractors in these exercises is particularly telling. These operatives, who often work in the shadows, bring a level of expertise and ruthlessness, man, that is unmatched by regular military forces. So who the fuck are these niggas about to send into these cities? Niggas said the level of expertise and ruthlessness. And the Lord is going to send these type of niggas to you niggas that was making fun of the Hebrew Israelites, doing videos and Hebrew Israelites, blah, blah. They're coming for you niggas. They're going to shoot the fat off your head, the fat off your face, your cheeks, your nose. Yo, the Lord, oh my goodness. All right, expertise, ruthlessness that is unmatched by regular military forces. I love that. It says their presence is a clear indication that the U.S. government is preparing for a conflict that will be fought not just by soldiers, but by mercenaries and private armies as well. Where these niggas gonna be coming from, man? Huh? Them dudes that's crossing the border and all this MS-13, they gonna be them dudes, man. They gonna put them in military costume and they gonna be coming out here raiding and destroying, pillaging the village, man. All right? And there ain't a damn thing you niggas gonna do about it. You're not prepared for what's coming. You're not even close to being prepared for what the Lord is bringing, man. All right? And we've been warning you for years. All right? And now the time has come. You got to answer, man. You have to answer. Okay? Let's see. Let me see if I can Now let's go down a little bit. Now they're focusing on what's going on in the prisons as well, right? It says inside the walls of U.S. prisons, particularly in California and Colorado, the tension is reaching a boiling point. The 23s, also known as the Woods, a prominent white prison gang, are seething. 23, huh? Interesting. Are seething with anger. Oof. Their fury stems from a series of threats made against their families in Aurora, Colorado, by Venezuelan gangs, reportedly placed there by cartels with the backing of shadowy elements within the CIA. Are we surprised by this? Are we surprised by this? No, I'm not. I know you ain't either. All right, the CIA is back at it again. It says the idea that the U.S. government, or at least rogue elements within it, could be facilitating such a situation is enough to incite rage among these already volatile groups. Once again, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Okay? This anger is not confined to the prison walls. It has the potential to spill out into the streets, igniting a conflict that could engulf entire communities. Woo! The cities shall be troubled and men shall be afraid. Hey, Koloi Hawabashim Yahushai. And it's just beautiful, man. This is just beautiful. To see this place go out like that. Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's read a little bit about the what they're saying about the game changer, right? The military training, the covert operations. There's a game changer here now. Let's check this out. This is unbeknownst to many. The U.S. military has been quietly training Mexican nationals to combat the cartels. Okay, these operations, shrouded in secrecy, involve not only the training of these individuals, but also their deployment back to Mexico, where they form military divisions tasked with taking on the cartels and the corrupt elements within the Mexican government. Why? Why are you worried about Mexico when you here in America, you got all these problems here? Number one. Number two, what have we noticed about the patterns of these devils always training motherfuckers, and then what happens? Them same niggas that they training turn to become the so-called boogeyman that they use to bring some new draconian measures, right? Remember what happened back in 2014 when they talked about ISIS? Oh, ISIS is an Islamic terrorist group and we need to go to Syria and go take care of them and all this shit, right? And then what did Assad and Putin do? They said, nah, we're going to take care of it over here. You don't need to step foot over here. We don't need you here, America. Stay your ass over there, right? And they created this whole scenario. Oh, Assad is killing his people with sarin gas. We need to go stop him. We need to go put in some military, blah, blah, blah. They said, listen, Russia said, listen, we already took out ISIS. You don't need to step up. Don't come over here with that shit. Stay your ass over there and mind your own goddamn business. All right? So they had to push it back. So that's why you got all this BS going on between America, Syria that was going on a few years ago was all based on them trying to build a pipeline through Syria or control the pipelines in Syria that provides, I think, gas from, I forget exactly where, to some of these European countries. And the U.S. was trying to take hold of that and have it as almost like I want to say garrison. You know, they want to have it as a mainstay, as their point, you know, to make money off of it. See what I'm saying? And Assad wasn't having any of it. He's no, we ain't doing that shit. See? I'm going to call Russia. I'm going to call my friends Putin and them. They're going to come in here and they're going to help me out. I don't need you Americans over here. The U.S. is always trying to force help on other countries. Like, look, let us help you. If not, we're going to wage war on you. It's like, damn devils, man. Your time is up. All right? Isaiah 47 tells you that your time is up. Okay? It's a beautiful thing. Just keep going. It says, this move, while strategic, is fraught with risk. The possibility that these military trained Mexicans could turn against, did we not just say that? Right? They could turn against U.S. or become embroiled in the very corruption they were meant to combat is a real and present danger. Well, what if that's the plan from the beginning, the first place? We wouldn't be surprised, right? They always got to create an enemy so they could group up everybody else. Oh, we're trying to take down the enemy, so now this is how we got to do it. You know? That wasn't slick. Continuing, it says, moreover, this strategy has not gone unnoticed by the cartels, who are now pushing back with increased ferocity, using their influence to destabilize regions like Colorado by deploying South American gangs to sow chaos. Okay? And when you do stuff like this, you drastically bring down the value of these cities and these towns and so on and so forth. Right? And when you do that, you also increase or you heighten the fear. Okay, now people are going to be, you know, they'll be open to the government stepping in to quell this type of issues that they're having. See? Problem, reaction, solution. All right? The Hegelian dialectic. The thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Okay? They have a solution, but under normal circumstances, those solutions are going to be pushed back by almost everyone. 90 to 95% of the population will push against that, right? Or at least 70%, let's use that. But in order for them to bring it out, for people to, you know, openly accept it, then they have to come in with the problem. Okay, well, we already have a solution. We want to get these people, you know, microchipped. Well, ain't nobody going to be willing to just take a microchip just because. Nah, fuck that. Well, okay, so then we have to create a problem, right? Think about it. Let's create a problem that we know we're creating, but they don't know that we're creating it. Most people don't, at least. And then based on their reaction to that problem, we're going to come in with the perfect solution. See? So we're going to put the problem out there, we'll lie in wait, and then as soon as they start reacting, boom, we're going to come in and say, hey, look, this is how we're going to do it. Okay? We've already started doing it. Don't worry about it. It's already in play. Just go along with it. And if you try to fight against it, you're a criminal. See? You're not looking out for the greater good. You don't need to be in the midst of society. Society has no place for people that think and do things that you do. That's not how it works. Anyway, continuing, it says, Colorado, Colorado, with its diverse population and strategic importance, has become a focal point in this conflict. The cartels, utilizing South American gangs as their foot soldiers, are not just engaging in drug trafficking and violence, they're executing a calculated plan to create chaos. This chaos serves multiple purposes. It distracts law enforcement, divides communities, and stretches resources thin, all while the cartels continue to expand their influence and control. Very interesting. All right, very interesting. It says, despite their current silence, the 1% outlaw biker gangs have issued a chilling ultimatum to the South American gangs. Leave Colorado or face deadly consequences. See where this is going? You see where this is going? They said this warning, though not officially documented, has been communicated through various underground channels and is taken very seriously by those familiar with the bikers' operations. The biker or bikers are not known for making idle threats, and their history of violence speaks for itself. Shit. Yeah, man, this is gonna be something. It's about to be something, man. Yeah. Let's see. It says, if the South American gangs do not heed this warning, the streets of Denver, Aurora, and surrounding areas could soon be awash in blood. Man. The bikers, with their deep connections and vast networks, are more than capable of carrying out such a campaign of violence, and the results would be devastating. Okay? Devastating, man. And it has to be devastating. Okay? It says, let me see if I could find some more information right here. It says, on the East Coast, military operations are focused on training and operation and preparation for urban warfare. These exercises are not merely theoretical, they are practical preparations for taking down paramilitary operations linked to Iran, China, and South American cartels. That's their excuse right there. That's what we're going to use to come in and come after everyone. Just like how they use, the Saudis or the Muslims have attacked us. Now everybody's a terrorist. Now they've created something known as domestic terrorism. Yep. Anyway, continuing, says the goal is clear: to neutralize these threats before they can gain a foothold on urban areas across the United States. However, the very fact that such preparations are necessary speaks to the severity of the situation. The idea that foreign paramilitary groups could operate on U.S. soil is a chilling thought, and the implications of such operations are profound. And why is it a chilling thought, though? See, Americans are used to just things being done for them. You go into a different country, man, look, the men are going to rise up, the men of the town or the city, they're going to rise up and go, yeah, we ain't having none of this shit. You just need to get the fuck up out of here. You know? But Americans are so docile and so, they're taught to be passively obedient to the point where even when their life is on the line, they still think some authority somewhere has to come in and save them. Like, I can't defend myself. I need to call the cops. You have men, literally men. Some shit's going down. Rather than step in and take care of business, they say, call the cops. Nigga, what? Call the cops? But what they gonna do? Do you understand? Even here in New York, you understand, prior to the whole CV shit, cops didn't really stop no crime or no violence, because there's a lot of police out here in New York City. Guess what? There's crime every day, everywhere. Okay, you got cops driving through the street, we parked in the corner. There's cops everywhere, but yet the place is riddled with madness. If cops really were supposed to be there to bring some type of order, why is there so much chaos around these inner cities, man, where there's mad cops there? Why are we constantly seeing locations in different parts of these states that are just like basically like torn apart, man. You know, you got all kinds of different shit, like people on drugs just hanging, like, say like zombies, like waiting to be activated again. Like they're just hanging there, like heads down, knees is buckled, arms is down, touching the ground and shit. You be like, what the fuck? Hair all over the place. That it's like zombies, mouth drooling and shit. And they're just out there. Some people just be lying in the streets, just knocked out. You be like, yo, what the fuck? Got rats going up and down their head and shit. Like we see this stuff all the time on American streets. See? Scripture says what? Thou shalt not be called what? Tender and delicate. Okay? That goes for the people as well, because Americans were always treated as the best. Oh, every time you go anywhere, oh, you American? Oh, you get treated better. Oh, you from America? Oh, yo. Now, shit. Get out of here with that, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. You go to different places, they see, oh, you American? Man, what are they doing to your country? Oh my God, your country is not the same. It's not like it used to be back in the 80s and the 60s when I was growing up. America has changed. Things have definitely changed. This is not the same America I knew. Yeah, because this place is done. It's up out of here. Okay? Shit. Anyway, continuing, it says, let's see. Right. It says, this is not just about defending American soil. It is about preventing the country from descending into chaos and ensuring that law and order are maintained. That's not true, but it's all right. It's okay. People will find out soon. It's okay. It's okay. It says, as these various forces converge, it becomes increasingly clear that a massive storm is brewing. The events we are witnessing are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger, more complex picture that points to a nation on the brink. The arrest wars are coming, and with them, a reckoning for those who have sought to undermine the fabric of American society. The DNC, globalist elites, the CIA, cartels, and corrupted elements within the U.S. government are all implicated in this unfolding drama. As investigations into the 2020 elections gain momentum, what? Investigations into what? And as Trump's efforts to expose and dismantle these networks intensify, the stakes have never been higher. The potential for civil unrest is real, and the consequences could be devastating. Okay, and they will be. All right. Says, we are in the eye of a storm, but this isn't just any storm. This is the great storm. Okay. Remember when Trump said, the calm before the storm? Remember how Biden over the past 4 years been saying the dark winter is coming, the dark winter is coming, the dark winter is coming. Remember when Klaus Schwab said it's going to be a comprehensive cyber attack? It's going to cripple the whole entire global economy and all this extra shit. So we watching. Okay, we talking about the who that, talking about the One Accord Treaty. 194 nations are going to be under their orders upon any perceived threat of viruses or disease or anything like that they deem a public health emergency of global concern. See? So all these things are adding up. Okay, all these things are adding up, and guess what? It doesn't look good for the American people. All right, and really for the world. All right, as the scripture says. Okay. Those men shall be troubled, the city shall be troubled, and men shall be afraid. Once again. Okay. So continuing, it says, it says the globalist agenda led by the WEF, Davos elites, the CIA, and other shadowy figures is orchestrating a series of catastrophic events. Black swan events, false flags, all right? Catastrophic events aimed at breaking our spirit and controlling our lives. Okay? From cyber attacks to ATM collapses, they want us to kneel. Okay? They want the world to kneel so they can go receive that thing. For years, we've been sounding the alarm about these impending events, and now, as they begin to unfold before our very eyes, we must stay vigilant. Okay, we must stay vigilant, and the elect are the only ones who are going to stay vigilant. That's why we're not going to be deceived. Okay, none of this stuff is going to overtake us as if we're sleeping or something. No, we always know. Watch. You're paying very close attention to what's going on. Every little movement, you watch, you watch, you watch. Right, your eyes is zoned in. Like, oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? Your head is moving. Your eyes are moving. You know what I'm saying? You're watching. Right. Very attentive. Very locked in. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that's pretty much it on the article. Wow, that's pretty good, right? Let me see. So, yeah. So it looks like, we're gonna end it off here. It's a pretty lengthy article, like I said earlier, but we pretty much got the point of it, right? That ultimately, all the prophecies that we've been talking about in terms of, the violence that's going to ensue upon the face of America and around the world, okay, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, like our Lord said, is about to pop off. Okay, and the fact that Esau is actively preparing for it shows very much well that, yes, we are indeed about to enter into the time of chaos, all right? The American chaosopolis is what I call it, okay? So I'm going to end it off there. Lord willing, you were edified and informed. All right, this has been America Stands on the Edge of Chaos, okay? And in closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash, the water, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Brakatam, Shalom.